Dear seeker, have you ever sat silently and wondered, when you see a bird soaring in the sky, a loyal dog waiting at your door, or a cow grazing peacefully in the field, do these beings also carry karma like us? Do they have destinies shaped by past actions, or are they free spirits untouched by the laws that bind human life? This question has puzzled sages, seekers, and common people for thousands of years. When we speak of karma, we often imagine it as something only humans face, the consequences of our choices, our deeds, our intentions. But pause for a moment and look at the natural world around you. See the eyes of an animal, sometimes full of innocence, sometimes carrying an unexplainable depth. Could it be that behind those eyes lies a soul on its own journey, quietly evolving through cycles of birth and rebirth, just as we are? Ancient Indian wisdom tells us that all life is part of one grand continuum. From the tiniest insect to the most intelligent human, each being is a spark of the divine, flowing through creation, learning lessons, and moving forward. The great masters, including Paramhansa Yogananda, taught that the law of cause and effect, karma, does not exclude animals. They too are souls, gathering impressions, purifying tendencies, and preparing for higher stages of existence. So the question is not whether animals carry karma, but rather how it works for them, and how their journey differs from ours. Understanding this mystery changes the way we look at life itself. It opens our hearts with compassion, reminding us that every creature is a fellow traveler in this vast cosmic school, moving slowly but surely toward the same destination, union with the infinite. Dear seeker, before we explore whether animals carry karma, we must first understand what karma truly is. Too often people think of karma as some kind of punishment, a cosmic judge handing out rewards and punishments. But the ancient masters and Paramhansa Yogananda explained it very differently. Karma is simply the law of cause and effect, the natural law that governs all energy. Whatever we think, whatever we do, whatever intention we release into the universe, sets in motion a vibration. That vibration must one day return to its source, just as a seed once planted must sprout and grow into its destined form. Karma, therefore, is not about punishment or reward. It is about balance, about restoring harmony in the great flow of life. When you act with love, compassion, and truth, the vibrations you send out must eventually circle back as peace and joy. When you act with hatred, fear, or selfishness, those vibrations also return, teaching you the lessons you need to grow. Karma is simply the teacher, guiding the soul through experience until wisdom dawns. This law operates with mathematical precision, yet with divine compassion. Yogananda would often remind his students that karma is not there to crush us, but to awaken us. Every difficulty we face, every joy we experience, is life's way of helping the soul remember its divine origin. Understanding karma in this way allows us to see it not as a chain, but as a ladder. Each rung we climb brings us closer to freedom. And here is the key: this law is universal. It does not belong only to humans. It applies to all creation, moving silently, shaping the destinies of every soul, whether clothed in human form, animal form, or even hidden in the smallest creature. Dear seeker, once we understand that karma is the universal law of cause and effect, the next question arises: what about the soul inside animals? Are they merely living machines of flesh and instinct, or is there a deeper divine presence guiding their lives? The sages of India, and Paramhansa Yogananda himself, gave us a very clear answer: animals too are souls, children of God, passing through their own stages of evolution. The scriptures describe creation as a vast journey of consciousness. God expresses himself in countless forms. In the minerals and stones, the soul lies asleep. In the plants, it begins to stir with a faint sense of life. In animals, the soul awakens further, expressing movement, feeling, and the beginnings of love and attachment. Finally, in human beings, the soul gains self-awareness and the power to reflect upon its own existence. Yogananda beautifully said, God sleeps in the rocks, stirs in the plants, moves in the animals, and awakens in man. This means that the cow, the dog, the bird, or the elephant are not separate from us. They are the same divine essence, simply experiencing creation at a different stage of growth. Animals feel emotions, they love, they fear, they protect, they grieve. Anyone who has lived with a pet has seen this. But unlike humans, they cannot yet reason deeply or make conscious spiritual choices. They live mostly by instinct, guided by nature's laws. Still, their souls are evolving quietly, preparing for the next step. So when you look into the eyes of an animal and feel that unexplainable depth, know that you are glimpsing the same eternal soul that journeys through lifetimes, seeking the same destination we all seek, union with the infinite spirit. Dear seeker, this is where the question becomes most interesting. If animals have souls, do they also create fresh karma in the same way humans do? The answer, as the masters explain, is both yes and no. Animals live mainly by instinct. Their behavior is guided by nature and by the impressions carried from past lives. Because of this, they generate very little new karma. They are not burdened with the complex choices, ambitions, and moral struggles that humans face every day. A lion hunts because hunger compels it, not out of cruelty. A bird builds its nest because instinct tells it to, not because it has planned or reasoned it out. In this way, animals mostly act out the tendencies already within them, rather than creating new karmic chains. Still, this does not mean their actions are meaningless. They are working through the residues of past experiences. A soul that cultivated loyalty in a previous life may express it through the form of a faithful dog. A soul learning patience may take birth as an elephant, living long and steadily. A gentle spirit may flow into the form of a cow, refining its peaceful qualities. Unlike humans, animals cannot consciously choose to evolve spiritually in this stage. But by living out these instincts and qualities, they gradually prepare themselves for the leap into human birth, where free will and self-awareness fully open the door to higher progress. So yes, animals carry karma, but they do not complicate it further as humans often do. Their karmic journey is simpler, like a current slowly moving them forward. Our journey, with choice and awareness, is faster but also more complex. This difference reveals why human life is seen as such a rare and precious opportunity. Dear seeker, the journey of the soul is like a long and sacred pilgrimage. From the lowest forms of life to the highest, the soul moves step by step, gathering experiences, refining qualities, and slowly awakening to its divine nature. Ancient Indian teachings describe this as the great chain of evolution. In the mineral kingdom, the soul sleeps, bound by stillness. In plants, it begins to stir, reaching toward light and growth. In animals, it starts to move more freely, to feel emotions, to express love, fear, loyalty, and even sacrifice. Each stage is not separate, but a continuous unfolding of God's consciousness. When the soul has gathered enough experience in animal bodies, nature opens the doorway to human birth. This is a great turning point. For in the human form, the soul receives the gift of self-awareness, the ability to reflect, to choose, to say, I will or I will not. It is in human life that karma becomes most powerful, because we now have the freedom to create, to shape our destiny, and to consciously walk toward liberation. This is why the scriptures emphasize how precious human birth is. After countless lives, the soul finally awakens in a body where it can ask spiritual questions, seek God, and consciously burn away past karma through wisdom and devotion. Animals are thus not lesser beings, but earlier travelers on the same road. They too are moving forward, step by step. And one day, each soul that is now an animal will awaken as a human, with the chance to rise even higher. Knowing this fills us with reverence, for in truth, every creature we see is a soul in evolution, heading toward the same eternal home. Dear seeker, while animals may not carry the same karmic responsibilities as human beings, they play a very important role in the grand design of life. They reflect qualities that we, in our restless human minds, often forget. In their simplicity and innocence, animals become teachers of silent wisdom. Take, for example, the loyalty of a dog. No matter how rich or poor you are, no matter what mistakes you have made, your dog will remain faithful, offering unconditional love. This reminds us of divine devotion, a love that does not calculate or demand, but simply gives. Consider the patience of an elephant, moving with steady grace, carrying burdens without complaint. In its calm presence, we are reminded of the strength that comes from inner stillness. Or think of the cow, symbol of gentleness in Indian tradition, quietly giving milk, nourishing without expectation. Its peaceful nature teaches us the power of kindness and service. Even the smallest creatures have lessons to share. A bird, singing at dawn, tells us of joy in the present moment. The ant, working tirelessly, teaches discipline and cooperation. Nature speaks constantly, if only we have the eyes to see and the heart to listen. Paramhansa Yogananda often encouraged seekers to look at animals with reverence, to see in them the reflection of God's qualities. They are not here merely to serve our needs, but also to remind us of what it means to live with simplicity, trust, and harmony. So, dear seeker, the next time you watch an animal closely, do not dismiss it as a lower form of life. See it instead as a silent teacher, offering you a glimpse of divine qualities in action. In their own humble way, animals show us how to live closer to truth. Dear seeker, if animals are indeed souls in evolution, then how we treat them becomes a reflection of our own karma. Every act of kindness or cruelty toward an animal is not forgotten by the universe. It shapes our destiny just as surely as the choices we make with other human beings. The sages have always taught that compassion is the highest dharma, and this applies not only to people, but to all creatures that share this earth with us. When we show love to animals, by feeding a stray, protecting a bird, or simply treating them with respect, we uplift not only their journey but also our own. Such actions create vibrations of harmony that return to us as peace in our own lives. On the other hand, cruelty toward animals creates heavy karmic debt, for it denies the divinity present in them. Paramhansa Yogananda often reminded his disciples that God is present in all beings. To recognize this truth is to expand our heart beyond narrow boundaries. When we see an animal, we should not see it, but thou. This change of vision transforms our spiritual path, for compassion is the very doorway to divine realization. In practical terms, this means being mindful of how we live. Choosing kindness over exploitation, gentleness over harm, service over indifference, these small choices shape our soul's progress. By protecting animals and honoring their lives, we help accelerate their evolution, while also purifying our own hearts. So, dear seeker, remember this: humans stand at a point of responsibility in creation. With our awareness comes the duty to protect, nurture, and uplift all life. In serving animals, we serve God. In loving them, we open the path for our own liberation. Dear seeker, as we come to the close of this reflection, let us pause and hold in our hearts the truth we have uncovered. Animals are not mere creatures existing for human use or amusement. They are divine souls, evolving step by step through the great journey of life, guided silently by the law of karma. Though their karmic play is simpler than ours, they, too, carry impressions of the past and move steadily toward the light of self-awareness. Understanding this truth changes the way we look at the world. The bird perched on a branch, the dog wagging its tail, the cow grazing in the field, each is a fellow traveler, walking the same eternal path that you and I are on. They may not speak our language, but their eyes, their loyalty, their innocence, and even their struggles whisper lessons from the divine. If we learn to see them with reverence, we will find God looking back at us through their gaze. This realization calls us to live with greater compassion. Every act of kindness toward an animal becomes a step toward our own liberation. Every gentle gesture plants seeds of peace in our soul. And every time we protect, serve, or honor them, we are in fact serving the infinite spirit, hidden in all forms. So I invite you, dear seeker, to reflect with me. Have you ever felt a deep soul connection with an animal, as though you had known them before? Perhaps a pet, or even a wild creature, that touched your heart in a mysterious way? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience may inspire others on their journey. Or, if you wish, simply type Jai Gurudev in the comments as a way of affirming this truth and spreading divine vibration into the world. And before you go, let me ask you, what is the next topic you would like to explore together? The mysteries of karma, the secrets of rebirth, the guidance of the great masters, your suggestions help shape this journey. Let me know in the comments what you would like to hear in the next video. Until then, walk gently upon this earth, for every being you meet is carrying within it the same spark of God that lives in you. Honor them, love them, and you will find yourself walking ever closer to freedom. Jai Gurudev.